Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the iFox the Juice podcast. I'm your host, Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, Reen. What's going on, Reen?
What is up,
It's been
dude?
been a while.
Yes, I'm back from the dead.
Yeah, we're sorry to miss you guys last week. We were trying to plan all kinds of stuff for the 50th show. Didn't happen. This is the 50th show. Um, guess we should have had something big planned here, but just been busy and Reen hasn't really been herself. We both weren't ourselves last week. We tried to get it done, and some personal stuff came up with me, and we fortunately couldn't get it done. So apologize, you guys. It's the first time we ever missed out on you, and we're here to make it up to you this week. So thanks for sticking by us.
I'm over here on mute, coughing in the back. Oh man, me muting a lot, trying to drink some water and shit. But we're here, 50th.
Yeah, and I believe our year anniversary is coming up in like a week. I think around like the 16th or something is when.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's when we first started the show. So it's going to be almost a year of doing this shit. I mean, 50 episodes is 52 weeks in a year. So I mean, we're basically there already, if not already there.
Oh my god! Now that you say it that way,
Yeah,
we
crazy,
do
huh?
this every week.
Yeah, without fail, except for last week. Unfortunately, one of the biggest fights of the year. But we're here to break it down. We're here to break down UFC Moscow, and of course, we're going to be talking about UFC 244. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the rewind for UFC 244. And we didn't cover any fights last week, so we're kind of just going to be talking about highlights throughout the card. Um, I guess we'll start from right below the main card with Johnny Walker and Corey Anderson. So Corey Anderson got the finish that everybody wanted from him, and he got real wild afterwards. It was a funny sight to behold.
He was hella mad. I was like, no, no, Corey, don't get a DQ, don't get fined. He was
Yeah, I was
hella
worried for
mad.
him. Yeah, I thought he might have still hit Johnny Walker after the fact.
Damn, dude. Good for him though, but fuck. I get it, I guess. People hating on him, even like Dana White's like, stop being a crybaby or whatever, but I don't think they really want him to win.
He, well, that's what Dana mentioned too. Is like, oh, they didn't want me to win. It's like I can't make you not win. You got to win fight. It was weird hearing what
Come
Dana
on,
thought.
Dana. Come on, Dana.
You know what though?
You can say that, Dana, but we
It
know. We know what you want, you know.
it was weird because I don't know what was Johnny. He was like what number 10 before this, somewhere around there. He wasn't too high up. But it's interesting how he was the favorite coming in, and I respect that. I understand why he was the favorite. I'm not mad at that. But it's weird if Johnny Walker would have won, he most likely would have got the title shot. But Corey winning is like, oh, well, it's good, and he knocked him out. That's good, but Dominic Reyes is still there. Jan Blankovic still might be. It's like we all know he's not gonna get the shot,
Yeah, he's not.
and so I wonder how serious he is about this. I don't want to fight. Release me. I mean, I don't think they can do that.
I think
I don't know.
well later he did say like if Dominic Reyes gets it, then I get it. That's cool. But they can't hand another person to John in front of me after that. Like, you can't do that. Yeah, for real, release me afterwards. But I get it if they do, go ahead and do Reyes first.
Didn't John say too? Didn't he make a post yesterday or today or something about that he's picking Reyes next to whoop his ass or something? Whatever the fuck that
Yeah,
means.
I saw that. Like, him and his team talked about it and they decided that they were going to go ahead with, yeah, Reyes. I did see that. So,
Yeah, I mean it's the deserving fight, I guess. I mean Reyes has been putting in work, but I don't know. It's like what you mentioned a few weeks ago that John Jones has kind of become the safe fighter. You know what to expect out of him, which Not something I'd ever thought of to say about John Jones, either in his fighting style or in his lifestyle.
Hey, man, he's trying, right?
Yeah, props to the guy. I'm
You
sure. I'm
know,
not gonna talk shit to him about that.
he can only focus on one thing. He can't multitask. At
He
least he's sticking it with like the fighting. At least he's doing a good job now. We haven't had any issues, no suspension. So
Now I wonder if that was premeditated. I mean, obviously they thought about it. They thought it was the right choice, but I wonder if it was for other reasons. The pussy slapping incident. Because remember, he pled no contest, which basically means guilty. Is like that does not seem like the John Jones move to make. And maybe I don't know. Maybe finally wisening up. I don't know if that's a wise choice, but maybe he's just tired of running from shit like he always does.
yeah, I don't know what to say about that one because I mean we didn't get additional information on it.
Nobody even talked about it. Like we
Yeah,
thought that would have been the biggest story of the month at least.
yeah. So payoff, I don't know. That was an odd one.
For sure, for sure.
Um,
But good for Corey.
yeah.
Um, I hope he fights John Jones one day. It might not work out so well for him, but I hope he at least gets that.
Well, if this fight happens with Reyes and there's no injuries, that he has to, he should. But yeah, I guess there's only like one fight left on his contract. Is that right? That's why he's saying this?
Anderson?
Yeah, or no? What am I
Not that I
thinking?
saw. Well,
Okay.
we spoke a little bit off air, and this is another fight on 244 we can make a quick mention of Shane Burgos. He knocked out Makwan Amirkhani, and that was the last fight in his contract, and it looks like he's gonna seek free agency.
Good.
Yeah,
Look at his options, man. See what's up.
yeah, yeah, and
Especially now, I mean, he's on a what? 3 fight win streak? Is it three?
um, I think
Shane
that sounds about right, and
Burgos.
I think they're all finishes, or at least
Yeah,
two of them were. He's an exciting kid, man. I know he's had some hiccups, but he's an exciting kid. So props to Shane Burgos. Want to get out there to shout out. Props to Kaylin Shikagian too for having mad balls and beating Maya. Um, I didn't catch that whole fight. Sorry, bad woman's MMA fan here. I've been very busy, but I did catch glimpses of it, and yeah, she did Kaylin Shikagian things and beat once again overweight Maya. So good on her. Glad it didn't blow back in her face, and looks like she's definitely next for Valentina.
good. Nice. I didn't get to see it either.
It's kind of what you would expect. Maya looked sluggish. Shikagian did a lot of he-eyeing, punching, and kicking in the face. And
So, okay, now can we chalk it up to her bad weight cut and now she needs to think about moving up in weight too?
I mean, I don't know how she can't not think about that. I mean, she had a bad weight. Well, she didn't make weight this time. She didn't make weight last time against Roxy, but she won, and it was very impressive. So it was almost a thing of like, well, you look impressive, but is it because you're not trying to cut weight? Now it's like, seemed like she tried to cut weight, still couldn't do it, and she looks sluggish as hell. So either way, that's it's not a good way to cut it. You got to go up, girl. You just gotta. And I got pissed. I mean, we tried to record last week. We never put it out, but I wasn't aware until you told me when we were about to record, and I got fucking pissed. I'm glad now. I'm glad she lost, and I can kind of put that behind me. But she doesn't go up. I'm not interested. I mean, if I'm interested, it'll probably be to root against her because that's too much. You lost on a prime title opportunity, and you didn't make way for that one. You didn't make way for the bout prior. What are you waiting on?
She's the Yoel Romero of that division. She's going to be that.
Just like barely. Well,
Make,
I don't even
barely
think
making
that's
weight.
fair. I don't even think that's fair because Yoel, like, when he didn't make weight, it was by like a pound, half a
Yeah.
pound.
And then one was stopped early, so I can't really say that. Sorry, Yoel.
He tried his ass off.
Talking
Now
shit.
it's been like 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Like, come on, girl. Come on.
That's so sad, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. I don't know. It seemed like it was dominant. So
Yeah, it was
maybe
a Kaylee Shakagian fight. I mean, it's what
better
always
ass beat.
yeah, that's what always happens. So good for her. I didn't think that fight was gonna be so easy for her, but good that it was. She deserved that win.
Cool.
So on to the main card. Kevin Lee. I mean, we'll talk about Jorge Masvidal in a bit. He didn't baptize Nate Diaz, beat the fuck out of him, nearly crucified him, didn't baptize him, but god damn it did Kevin Lee baptize Gregor Gillespie.
That's scary. That was scary how he dropped him. Did you see
He,
Megan Olivi's reaction to that too?
yeah, I did.
Oh my god. I get it, girl. I
She
get it.
reacted. She reacted like his mother, man. Like I felt bad for her. I'm like, is that your husband? Is that your son? But you know what? I'm not even making fun of her or Gillespie. It was a crazy reaction. But I'm totally with it. Like
Yeah.
that was one of those knockouts. That even Rogan alluded to it. I think after the fact, he said something like, "That's one of those knockouts where you almost don't want to cheer because it's so scary. Like it's very impressive, but it's so scary that you're just wondering if he's okay." And yeah, that's how I was. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then immediately I was like, "Get the doctor in there. Make sure that boy's okay, man."
Yeah. Especially to Gregor Gillespie, like I don't think he's ever been finished.
I don't think he's ever lost. I think he's
Right?
undefeated.
He was undefeated coming into this. Crazy man.
And a guy who we just talked about off air, and Kevin Lee, who has a ground and pound TKO victory over Jake Matthews 3 years ago, and that is the only knockout, quote unquote knockout, he's gotten in his career up until Saturday night.
Yeah,
And
that's
man, did
right.
he fucking put a stamp on that. And it was just weird because I was saying since the beginning of the fight because I knew it was clear that it was gonna be a kickboxing match from at least for the first round. And I was saying Kevin Lee needs to let his kicks go. He's a very good kicker, and I think that's a good weapon against Gillespie. He just needs to time him right. And god damn it, he only threw one, and it's all he needed. And god damn it, if he didn't time it right. Right hook to left high kick. I mean, that's fuck. That's textbook. Textbook.
Crazy. I didn't think it would happen that way. Good for him. Wow. I think a lot of people had gone for Gillespie.
Yeah, Gillespie was the favorite.
Yeah, like cuz just the run he was in and, all the finishes he's had. Fucking crazy, man. It's so crazy. So I wonder if it's just him not like really training all that much because I was listening to him talk about how he's so involved with wrestling and training wrestlers and focusing on that too, and that's why he didn't take a fight earlier until this one.
Gillespie or Lee?
Yeah, Gillespie.
Yeah, well, he loves wrestling. He seems kind of like that Ben Askren type. Like wrestling is his first true love.
Yeah, so I wonder if that had anything to do with it too, but I'm not trying to like downplay what Kevin Lee did, but because we didn't see him until what? What was the last time he fought?
It was the
It was
signing, wasn't it?
January. Yeah, it was January, so it was almost a
Mm,
year.
no, I don't think that was January. I think that was like May.
The last time Gillespie fought was January 19th
Oh,
against him.
Gillespie. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought Lee
nuh-uh. Gillespie.
against Medeiros. I think no.
Yeah, so he's been out for a while.
Yeah, and then I don't know how much he is like a professional fisherman, right? It's not just his hobby.
Is
I think
he?
right? I think so.
I don't know, man. All I know is Gregor Gillespie eats cereal with fucking water, so I don't know what that guy does.
And I wish you didn't elaborate, but I'm gonna ask you too. It's not just water. How else does he eat it?
He eats it with his hands. He doesn't use a
Okay.
fucking spoon. What the fuck?
That man needs to be deported. I don't know where. Take him to the fucking Amazon. Take him to just take that man to the jungle. He doesn't deserve to be with civilized humans. Fuck that guy. I love Gregor Gillespie. I love him. But god damn it, I'm not that sad that fucking Kevin Lee made a martyr out of him for Bernie Sanders, man.
Oh, apparently he said it with a straight face too, like it's a normal thing.
Shut the fuck up. No, it ain't.
No, man. No, we use milk.
The
What the
fuck out my
fuck?
face with that shit.
God damn, dude, what is wrong with you?
It's psycho.
Like water.
Oh my god.
Spoon?
You know
Get
how people. You know how people.
plastic spoons laying around. Like, come on, you don't get it for free. When you get like food to go or take, like, come on, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
At least play it like real poor people do, and if you're gonna eat cereal, eat it with a spork. So eat it with a fork so you can save the milk. You
It's
fucking
funny.
sick asshole. But
Oh,
all jokes aside, props to Kevin Lee. Bad loss for Gillespie, but I'm sure he'll be back. Just hope he takes the time off. If he took this much time off, and he was healthy, I hope he definitely takes time off and reconsiders things and comes back strong. But I hope we don't see him till at least summer because that shit was devastating.
use his milk, maybe get his protein.
Yeah, the harder noggin.
Yeah, fix that head of yours. Shit.
Yeah, but maybe that's the fighter with some of these. Maybe that's the problem with some of these fighters. They don't drink enough milk. They didn't see all those commercials when they were little. They're trying to give milk a bad name now. Fuck,
Seriously.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know I like milk, but I probably shouldn't because I'm
Well, there's just too many fucking variations now. Like,
girl.
I mean, it was bad enough. Milk had like 2%, like 1% skim milk. Fat. Now you got like soy milk, almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk.
Flaxseed.
Like,
Oh,
there's just too much.
I know. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Derek Lewis and Blagoy even fought, and it was an interesting fight. I guess some people thought Blagoy fought. I was okay with Derek Lewis winning the fight. I'll be honest, I was getting a beer and doing some stuff in the kitchen while this fight was going on, so I only caught maybe like a round and a half. But from what I saw, it was Derek Lewis doing Derek Lewis things and Blagoy Ivanov doing Blagoy Ivanov things, but just being tougher than a fucking tank. But
It was a
yeah, it was.
punching bag.
Yeah, I mean, it was what it was, and yeah, I think Lewis deserves the decision. But I mean, I guess it would have been a little bit more violent. But what can you do with a guy like Ivanov?
Like, he was a tough dude, man. He was a punching bag.
I mean, once you get
Fucking
shanked in the
crazy.
chest, I mean, where do you go from there?
That's true.
I mean, you can't be scared of punches, and I guess because of that, you're just gonna eat them because you're not scared of them.
He got shot too, right?
I don't
Or
know about
no?
that one, although I wouldn't be surprised. I do know he got a tracheotomy, but I don't know why that was either. I don't know if that was a separate issue or if that was because of the stabbing, or if he got shanked in the fucking throat too. You never know.
Damn. Crazy.
Guy's all man. But props to Lewis, and I guess props to Ivanov for toughing it out like that. But he's what Bulgarian. He'll be back. That shit didn't affect him. Crazy motherfuckers out there. Moving on to what was the fight of the night: Stephen Thompson and Vicente Luque. I love this fight. I don't know if it lived up to what I thought it would be. It was competitive, but not necessarily close. I guess in my mind, I thought it'd be closer and a little bit bloodier. Vicente Luque was the only one that got bloody, but man, props to him. I like Luque, and I was kind of rooting for him, but in a way, I'm glad he lost because not that he was being arrogant or that he didn't deserve the win or nothing, but there's levels to this shit. And Wonder Boy, it was a big step, and he did well. He lost, but he didn't get fully dominated. And I think he sees that there's ways to go, but it's not impossible. He can get up to that level.
I was sad that he lost. It was a good fight though, but that's tough, man. That was his fourth fight of the year. To go
Yeah,
out like that, I mean, that's tough. But
yeah,
he
but
looked good. He looked good, and even Wonder Boy like gave him props, for the fight,
yeah,
for being a great dance partner. So I mean, win, lose or draw, like he's still going to be up there, and hopefully he'll come back stronger.
didn't he say something like that in the interview too? That I told him that he's very good, he's very skilled, and that he'll be up there one day. That Like, don't hang your head. It was a good fight.
Yeah, I think that's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tough, man. He was on a
Who,
good run, dude. I mean, you have to lose sometime.
who would have thought that in the night with Darren Till, Kelvin Gastelum, and Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, that Wonder Boy and Luque could have been fight of the night, right?
Right? I
And it was
love
it
it.
was very deserving. We'll get to Masvidal and whatnot in a second, but co-main event was Darren Till and Kelvin Gastelum. Um, it's gonna sound weird because I know people were booing during the fight. Maybe it was a thing of that people in the crowd were very drunk and outspoken, clearly being in the arena. But I didn't think the fight was all that boring. I don't know if people at home hated it, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting to see both guys that, Until and Gaslam, that are true warriors and are not afraid to jump into the fire, being cautious. Like, this is gonna sound weird, and I don't know if I ever said this on the show before, but I don't fully appreciate a fighter until I've seen a boring fight. Like, until I've seen a boring fight, I can say that, like, okay, they're a complete fighter. There's something about having nothing but wars where I get worried, you know.
Man, this fight, he didn't even make weight. If you really want to like look at it that way too, like
So,
he didn't struggle.
did you see anything of what they did to him? Because they were supposed to fine him or sanction him or something, but I didn't hear anything of what they actually did to him. I don't know if because he lost, they're like, ah, fuck it, who cares?
No, I haven't heard anything about that either. But I mean, did you hear the commentary? Like Dominic Cruz threw in some shade there about that incident. I forgot what he said. Man, it's like it escapes me now. But yeah, he threw in some shade about the
I think
way.
he mentioned Cordero. I think he brought him in somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember something vaguely.
even in the fight. But yeah,
Yeah,
Darren
yeah,
Till, good for him, man. Made
yeah.
it competitive. Had issues, visa issues, because fucking Trump, the president was going to be there. He had visa issues coming into the country. Security team stopped him. Coming up in weight, made
it,
weight.
it's nothing I wish on any person, and being son of immigrants, the immigration stuff is near and dear to my heart. But I know Darren Till is not exactly someone that wants to live here. He was just trying to get a fight, trying to do his job. But it's good to know at least that Trump's not just he's not just going after the brown people. He's at least principled in his bigotry of immigrants.
That shit's
And
funny.
and to be fair, Darren Till was acting like an asshole. So I mean, I'm glad he fought, and I'm glad I liked his outlook after the fight. I even liked his fuck yous. That shit was funny. But I don't know. So there's been a lot made about some of his his interviews and some of the stuff he said.
Like
You kind
what?
of
Not wanting to fight Yoel Romero?
not wanting to fight Yoel, but
I,
saying that a fight was Israel's destiny, but
yeah.
him being scared to take this fight with Gastelum. Like, I don't know. He's clearly being honest, and I admire his candidness, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he needed this win. I don't know where he goes from here. It's definitely not Adesanya, and to be fair, even to him, I don't think he's earned Romero as of yet either. Um, I don't know if I wouldn't want to give him a loser. I would say like Jack Hermanson's a good role to go, but I don't know if we want someone that's coming off a loss. Him
Derek
and
Brunson.
that'd be good. Good wrestler. Still not that great of a striker, but can hit hard. Yeah, that's perfect. Green. Wow, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
And I
And
don't think he has the
Derek
fight
Brunson.
either.
And he's just coming off a win too, right? I mean, it
Yep,
was a bad one, but
yep.
shit, who did he fight?
I think the last
See?
one was at 241. It was Heinisch. I saw that one. That's the last I remember.
Okay. So yeah, maybe do him because no. I mean,
Take
in the rankings, he's like number 5 now.
Yeah,
He shot up.
take it slower. He jumped way high up in welterweight and very quick within like
Yeah,
two fights. Let's give him at least four and let's see what happens. You know,
yeah.
if he
So
wins three or four, then we'll see about a title shot and all that.
yeah, because he doesn't want anybody else. Not right now. Derek Brunson would be one. Maybe Uriah Hall, but that's going way down. That's like 12.
Yeah.
So
Didn't Uriah Hall just win? He had an impressive
freaking
finish lately. I don't remember.
God damn it, he did. There's
Yeah,
been
I
so
think
many fights.
I think people were like, "Oh, Uriah's back," but
Oh, Shoeface, Zavato Jr.
oh, that's right. That was a good fight. Good fight.
Yes, yes. Took him to the ground and still couldn't finish him.
Yeah, good fight.
Yep. He's
So
still up.
there's options for Till clearly.
Yeah.
Gaslam, I think this fight wasn't that bad, but yeah, I don't know if you should take some time off right now because that Adesanya fight was still ridiculous. I still don't know how you recover from that, even in what 6 months, 7 months that it took him. Glad he took so much time off, but clearly he was still gun shy.
Well, especially with the weight issue too. Like, come on. You can't make this weight now either.
Rain, have you ever had tamales?
I get it, man.
Did you see any? You saw the embeddeds and the countdown and stuff, right?
Yeah, maybe he snuck a plate or two.
I don't know why. I don't know if it was on the embedded or the countdown. Did you see his mom?
Yes.
I don't know why. I think it was when in the beginning of the pay per view when they were showing Till and Gaslam walking into the arena, and I saw Gaslam was wearing a scarf. I was like, I guarantee you his mom gave him that shit. I guarantee you as he was walking out the door, like, Mijo, please take the scarf. It's cold in New York. She just looks like that typical Mexican mom that will not let her kid go without full, without being fully clothed.
She probably fed him another like a plate or two.
Yeah, like here, take this for the trip.
Secretly, when the
That's
cameras like,
funny.
yeah, finally left and shit, like, you need to eat.
What
Like,
wasn't there?
okay.
Yeah, weren't they showing that in the like embedded or whatever too? Like, oh yeah, look, my mom's making all this, but I'm eating rice and vegetable or whatever the fuck it was. I'm like, yeah, right, bitch.
Yeah, they had cake, man. Like, come on. It
Oh
was his
yeah,
birthday.
it was his or was it a nephew's or something or a
No,
brother's?
I thought it was his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, come on, Kelvin.
Fucking
You're a very
badass.
strong. You're a very strong man. You're a very courageous dude, but you do have a weakness, and it's not in fighting.
I get it though.
That's at the kitchen table.
I'm kidding. I get
I
it though.
was looking funny. I don't care. That was funny. Neither that.
Oh
But
man, you
yeah,
gotta eat if your mom's telling you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You gotta eat, man.
yeah. But speaking of the whole Till thing, I think we could say the same for Gaslam. Like he was kind of not that he was rushed too soon. He had plenty of fights and he earned his shot. But he it was a pretty quick rise. You know, he had the loss to Weidman, but aside from that, he just kept bouncing back. So maybe he should take at least a step back. You know, and see have a sort of tune-up fight and then see where he goes from there. You know.
Yeah. Dude, they're
Get
still young, man. Goslin was
yeah,
28 and Darren Till's 26, so
yeah. Like I don't want to
take
see
your
Kate.
time.
I don't want to see Kelvin and Hermanson. You know, because I don't know
No.
it's a great fight, but I don't know what to expect from that one, and I don't want to see either of them lose. Like let them just have a few steps back.
Yeah, pump the brakes because okay, we don't know what's
Time.
gonna happen, right?
Yeah, there's time with both of them, with Till and Goslin. Yeah, exactly. Pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, Izzy, we don't know if he's gonna fight Costa or Romero.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
still up in the air because Costa is like, just wait for me until April. But Romero's like, shit, you called me out.
which to be fair, it is reasonable. That'd be 6 months from his last fight.
Yeah.
So and then Costa too. I mean, it's not like he had an easy fight against Romero, so I'm
Mm-mm.
sure his body's still recovering.
But Romero, man, he was called out, so he's been throwing jabs at Izzy. And I guess that's the fight that they wanted anyways. he wanted to fight Romero because that would be better for his legacy. But that's scary, man. I don't know if that's too early to take that kind of smoke.
To finish Whitaker and then beat Romero afterwards. God damn, you're some kind of legend. Like
Yeah.
you're already approaching Anderson status within just a handful of fights, you know?
Well, they were talking about fighting Stipe at one point, so I mean, I get it. They're trying to
Yeah,
build him up, like his, yeah,
I'm all the way fucked down on that one, yeah.
yeah. So, whew, whatever happens, there it's still tough. Either or, it's still a tough fight. Costa or Romero, that's still a tough fight.
Mhm. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But of course, main event time, BMF belt, presented by The Rock himself.
God damn it! Sorry,
Um,
sorry. I have
yeah, no, it's okay. I felt
Tourette's syndrome,
similarly.
Tourette's and shit.
Happens with The Rock. Yeah, that happened, but to take nothing away from the fight, it was incredible as long as it lasted, even though it was a one-sided beatdown. I I um I thought Jorge would win, and I expected some of what happened to happen. I just didn't expect it to be that quickly.
Yeah, I would have picked Nate because I had to, but yeah, in my mind, I'm like, Jorge has this. It just sucked because I love them both. But
There's nothing wrong with being a loyal gal, Rainier. You're a true D Devlin.
yeah, but you're stupid.
Shout out to Just Lead MMA. I heard
Dude,
a podcast last week and they gave her a shout out for being a faithful woman. I was like, you know
dude, seriously, she goes hard.
oh my god, I'm not even gonna go there now.
I'm like, we talked about it off air. She'll,
Whew.
damn girl, I don't even know, man.
Ain't the only one getting.
That's loyalty as fuck.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm like, I got a baby over there
I
raping,
I saw
allegedly raping.
I saw this thing by Tosh, by Daniel Tosh a few weeks ago, and talking about how basically how whenever he gets mad whenever he sees on the news there's like a serial killer, a mass shooter, one of those guys pops up and they go to their town like, oh, he was totally normal, and like their wives and their mothers like, oh, he was a total normal boy. I could have never guessed. And he was just like, he's like, maybe you should be locked up. You know something's going on. And like, ladies, you should know that your husband is a sick piece of shit, and there's all kinds of sick thoughts going through his mind. But at the end of the day, you stick with him because you don't want to sleep alone at night. And I think that says more about you than me.
Damn.
It was a terrible joke. It was fucking awful as far as the presumptions. But yeah, she was like, man, he's just like, if you ever have the whole stick by your man, no matter what he does, like, are you fucking insane? Like, we're not in the 50s anymore. You get a suitcase, you get the fuck out of town, you leave his ass.
Oh shit, she's like Hillary Clinton. Oh shit. If people start dying, if
Oh,
people
God.
get suicided. Anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Hillary.
Anyways,
Anyway,
what were we talking
we're talking
about? Oh,
about
loyalty. Oh,
loyalty.
it took a the fuck, man. Sometimes we just go a totally different direction. Um, yeah, it sucked the way it stopped. But I get it. I wasn't mad at it. I could see why people are mad at it.
So you're not one of those people that send bomb threats to the poor Indian doctor, Reen?
What the fuck, man? That's too much, man. That is way too much. Fuck, man.
You didn't send him a fingertip of one of his children in the
No, man.
mail?
Come on. He was doing his
Do,
job.
do you care about this sport or what, Reen? Do you want to watch people get fucked up or what? I don't think you're a true fan if you're not threatening this man and his
Oh,
family.
I want to see him have a glass eye, too. Who's the realest motherfucker right now? Like, Bisbee or Nate? Let's
Is that
see.
is that what Nate was aiming for?
Like,
I in this bitch.
fuck. Bisping's over here like in my mix and shit. Um, yeah, what the? Come on, man. That was I read that. That's too much, man.
Well, I don't know
This is what
something.
it's begun. Like, come on.
Well, I know something crazy, and I mentioned this on I was on Ann Walker's Walkout Network earlier this week, and I mentioned this, and yeah, what I in the first round, my lady kept saying that she was worried about the eye and that they could stop it, and I kind of played it down. I was like, it's bad, but I've seen worse. And then come around the second round, especially towards the end, I was like, yeah, they might stop this, and nobody was talking about it. And then the third round comes around, and sure enough, they did. But I actually was like keeping quiet like the last 5-10 minutes of the fight because I was like, you know what, I I honestly think they're looking at it and they want to stop it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the doctor or the commission or whoever's in charge of that, if they're scared to do it because these fans are going to be so pissed off and it's going to be Mexico City all over again, you know? I'm like, I swear to God, I believe that. I was like, man, if because put yourself in his position. You see, this guy's clearly fucked up. And granted, we're not doctors, but even from home, we can see these guys are fucked up. This might be dangerous. But are you really gonna have the balls to pull the trigger and say this fight's over?
Yeah. I mean, at first I was like, that's fucked up. They should just let them fucking just fight it out. This is a special title anyways. This is a special fight. Just fucking just let him, go all out. I get it. I get why they stopped it because that was his job. He had to look out for the fighter. So, fuck, man. I mean, that's what happens. We're not on the streets.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
So,
thing. I think we got a little bit too carried away with all the Street Fighter stuff. It's like
yeah.
they're still professional athletes, man. They still got to look out for their safety. That's the reason why we have these refs. Because if these just fought on the street, they would fight to the death, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So,
That's the reason why
unfortunately,
Nate. That's the reason Nate was mad. It's like you got to kill me in there, and like he would have been perfectly happy to die.
yep. So, unfortunately, it didn't go down that way because, that's just the way Nate is. He gets cut up easily because he has like scars, all
Hmm.
that scar tissue. So it just happens with him. And yeah, I mean, I thought he was busted up like by the end of the first. Like he was looking really bad then, and then second round, like it was, yep, the same shit
I mean, he was busted
all
up a
over.
minute in. When did he land that kick? It was like what, like a minute and a half in. Like that shit probably early. If that was anybody else, that shit might have been stopped in the first.
Yeah. So what can you do, man? That's not the way we wanted to have the fight end, but what can you do? It's a fight game with regulations. So
Yeah, yeah. There's still rules in this shit, believe it or not.
yeah, so I
So
mean, it was cool the title and everything, but yeah, like there's like a part of it that's missing, right? Because the way it ended, like fuck, like
okay.
something's not like sitting well with me right now. Like I mean,
Yeah.
the build up was cool. There's this title. Fucking people are like wearing gloves and holding up the BMF title and shit. There's a whole like announcement for it. There's a whole segment of media members holding this shit and talking about it, and it has like the baddest motherfucker engraved on it with black diamonds, and it's a special belt. This was a special fight, but it didn't end in a special way. This ended by a fucking doctor, and everybody's fucking like threatening him. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. I mean, not much to say
that
there.
still baffles me. Like, come on.
The doctor stuff, the threats.
Yeah.
You know what?
What
What
the?
I
Come on.
didn't know, and I'm not surprised I didn't know until I did Ann's show on Monday, that apparently there was this like conspiracy from fans to start giving the doctor's practice, like his uh actual practice, to give him like bad Yelp reviews and shit.
Oh my god. People would do that.
That's
People
not cool.
would.
That's not cool. That is not okay that those people did that. But it's so fucking petty. It's like you fucking children, man. It, it's
Oh.
it's It's actually kind of fitting that I'm gonna cover KSI and Logan Paul this weekend because it's like, dude, that fight last weekend was amazing. It was everything that I look for in fights personally. It was cool that it was a big spectacle and that casuals liked it too and that they were into it. But it's still a shit show. It always has
Yeah.
been. It always will be in one way or another. And it's funny that I'm gonna cover a boxing event where these purists are like my sport, my beloved sport. Is like, dude, you gotta be aware of what your sport's done. You're no better than MMA. You're no better than pro wrestling, to be honest. This is just the shit that we do. We just gotta accept it. As good as that fight was, as exciting as it was, there's still rules, there's still regulations, and we gotta save these guys from themselves. But everybody literally just went just bleed, just fuck that guy, just blood and guts. That's what we want. Give a shit about his safety, about his health, about his family, nothing. Just let him fight. And it doesn't help that Nate was of the same opinion. Like, yeah, let me die in there. It's like, yeah, man, we'll do. We know you'll do it, but that doesn't mean we should let you.
Right. It's not somewhere, someone's backyard.
Uh,
So
before
crazy.
before I finish, I want to make a comment and I want to ask one last question. Um,
Mhm.
props to Jorge for single-handedly bringing back retarded and midget in a single sentence at that press conference, and I hope he. I love that dude's a fucking fat kid at heart. I don't know if he was ever fat in his life, but man, he eats like he's a fucking 300 pound, just fat
He's an
motherfucker.
emotional eater like me.
Like many people. Well, was he emotional after the fight though? I mean, he won. Just eating pizza and drinking rum or whatever the fuck. Hey, props, man. I respect that shit.
All
And
that stress is gone and shit. He deserved
yeah,
all
he was
that.
celebrating. He was celebrating,
Yeah.
and he was eating legit New York pizza too. I was watching it like, man, that shit looks good. So
Well,
props for Jorge on that.
I'm pretty sure it's because of that stress of like possibly not fighting Nate when that announcement came out of
Mm.
him, failing that test. He mentioned that, yeah, he was eating. He's like, your boy like gained some weight
Well,
because
yeah,
he had
especially if you
like,
don't think the fight's going on. Like, what the fuck am I worried about? I'm not
yeah,
gonna fight.
he was stressing out. He's like, yep, I was eating. I'm an emotional eater. I'm like,
And
I
I
feel you, man. I'm the same way sometimes.
think same. Uh,
Oh, you're my spirit animal.
yeah, he's definitely an animal. But aside from that, one last question, and I think people are talking about whether the rematch should happen, whether you want to see it or not. I want to ask you, how surprised are you that Dana, as of now, as of the moment the fight ended, he doesn't seem interested in a rematch?
I It's probably just him downplaying it because a if it makes sense money wise, they'll probably do it again.
Yeah,
So
and we know. I mean, we're not even. We don't have the accounting books, and we know this fucking event made money. Everybody
mhm.
knows that. And this is just on my when he said it, I was like, Dana, are you stupid? Like, you hate money? You never ran away from money. You signed CM Punk, but you're gonna run away from this. And I'm not even saying that as someone who really wants to see the rematch. I do want to see it, but down the line, I don't need to see an immediate rematch. It's not that important.
Right.
But like I don't get why he's just like at least he wouldn't add that like oh maybe we'll talk about it in a year let's see what happens after this and then
Yeah.
now Nate's saying that he's done and I don't know if that's just a power play on his move. I never take fighters seriously, especially a Diaz brother or Connor or Jones or any of these big stars. I always think it's a power play, so I don't know what's happening, but
Yeah.
I don't get why Dana would take that approach.
It's entertainment. You have to drum up something, right? You have to drum up some kind of drama.
It's funny you said that. That's actually something that Ant and the guys brought up on the show on Monday. They were saying that do you think that the UFC or someone in their media or someone in their PR team or whatever is causing some of these things, the drama with backstage with Nate's USADA issues and Joanna and Jacek's supposed bad weight cut. Like if they're trying to drum up drama to get interest.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, man. How many times have we talked about shit like this?
Well, I think
I go,
before
I go,
Joanna,
I
you're
go
you're
Eddie
different.
Bravo. Yeah, I go
Like,
Eddie Bravo sometimes on that shit because I mean that's what sells. Whatever sells, whatever you can bring to the table and draw attention to it,
but
and
does
draw more attention to it and make more money off of it. Why wouldn't you?
but does it though? Because see, the things like this, like I feel like it only affects hardcore fans. Like I know people found out about Nate's drug issue. Um, all the hardcore fans obviously knew, and I'm sure some casuals did too. But was there enough casuals to be like, "Oh my God, is the fight not happening?" Like they're not keeping up to date with this shit. And then like with the Joanna thing too, like Joanna's popular, but she's not a gigantic star. Like we were the ones going on about her titties and about her failed weight cut and all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yoanna's different though, but now Nate with this whole like controversy with Yasada, I think he did have casuals curious if the fight would go on or not. Not even like casuals, just people that were going to just buy the fight just because maybe The Rock attracted them.
Mm.
So who knows? Like even I was even thinking about this with the whole like threats with the doctor. Like it could be casuals. It could be like a whole different like audience doing this because
I,
we've never seen that before. We've never heard of that bullshit before. But like shit like this always attracts a whole different set of people. Um, but yeah, like with Nate, it's totally different. I mean, all those views he was getting. Then in The Rock entering the picture and his like Snapchats and Instagram stories and god damn, like I mean, how many followers does he have?
mm,
Like was it 25 million or some bullshit number? Like crazy ass number.
mm.
But it was crazy, man. Like I mean, uh, the whole build up of it, the promotional aspect of it, even with like The Rock coming out and announcing that he's going to do that movie.
Yeah, about Marker.
Yeah,
Which nobody, I didn't even know about it till Monday when Ben Duffy talked about it on the show. I was like, huh? What? Where the fuck was I?
yeah. Like I can see why like Dana's like, yeah, it's one and done.
Yeah. I mean, I
You
guess
know?
he kept to his word, but I'm not buying it right now. I thought it was very weird.
I
Now
mean,
I'm
what it's
starting
good
to.
to have it though, in like the back pocket though. Like it's good
Well,
to have it because it's like the old model. Maybe yeah, he would do an immediate rematch. He needs the numbers. He needs the money. But with this whole ESPN deal, like they already have it. They got their money. Do they really care
hmm,
what records they break? Stagger it along. Okay, we'll probably put that fight together later on. We'll see what happens with Connor. Well, who's he gonna fight next? Are we gonna have that trilogy fight in the back card, in our back pocket too? There's so many things that they can do, and it's all entertainment now. I would be surprised if we see more of this shit.
hmm. Now you're. I guess your little conspiracy mind got into me too, because I was starting to think, about all the drama and stuff backstage. I'm now wondering because Trump was there and he has been an MMA fan for a long time. I wonder if he got pissed about stoppage. I wonder if he's looking into that doctor's immigration status, Or if he's trying to look where he's fucked up, where he didn't dot his I and cross his T. It's like this motherfucker's going back to India.
Man, like I said, like who knows
He was
what kind,
responsible for the death threats and all that shit.
right? Like who knows what kind of people attracted this? You know what I mean? Were attracted to this fight because of the people that were involved in it, coming to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, all these people betting on it too. Like I wonder what kind of numbers those people made,
true.
especially in Vegas and shit. So,
True.
mm-hmm.
Well, that wraps it up for UFC 244. Let's get into our preview of UFC Moscow. First up on the card, on the prelims, Jessica Rose Clark's gonna fight Pannie Kianzad, and Jessie Jess is moving up. It's been a while since she's fought. She's moving up to 135. Pannie Kianzad went down from featherweight ever since she was on that tough show. And I think it's a good fight. Pannie's one of those girls that's never really lived up to some of the hype she brought early in her career. But Jessie Jess has she was not seen as the best fighter, especially like in her Invicta run. But she kind of seemed to turn the corner when she got in the UFC. She's been doing all right. I think it's a pretty good fight. I think they're pretty well matched. Jessica's more of a boxer. Pannie's way more of a grappler. I think it's a good stylistic match. What do you think, Green?
I like this fight for her return fight, Jessie Jess. Crazy that she's going all the way to Moscow though, but I like it. It's a good matchup. She actually moved permanently up here to Dublin. She's with CSA full time now, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I've been seeing pictures. She's got like full abs now, right? And she's kicking
Yeah,
ass. Her
yeah.
oh, it was I think it was you, right, that DM'd me that video of her throwing like some monster left hooks and stuff.
Was it? I can't remember.
Or I don't know, maybe if I sent it to you. No, but her boxing was looking real good. She was on the mitts. I'm like, damn, this girl can crack. Like I never knew that.
Yeah, she looks so good. She looks so strong. She's doing fucking like crazy CrossFit strength and conditioning. So good for her. She's doing it full time over there now.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what she's into, that good for her. Obviously, you got to keep fit somehow. Sometimes MMA ain't enough, but obviously, good coaches behind her at CSA,
Yeah,
and yeah, and obviously sparring with girls like Nakamoto and Librock and a lot of big girls. I think it'll probably do her good, especially since she was fighting at as a very big flyweight. So she's got to get
hmm
used to the size difference and whatnot. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I've been kind of meh on both girls. I guess I was more of a Panty fan before. I've never really been a big Jessie Jess fan, but she's missed weight a lot of times, especially at 135. So that kind of turned me off to her. Based on the style, I don't know. I want to believe in Jessie Jess, so I guess I'll go with her.
same. Just her evolution. I just want to see if this works out for her.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
basically same
Yeah,
here.
I like both. You know what I mean? It just sucks. Like Penny, I think after the tough season, she was let go. She got brought in because they needed a replacement, and then now she's under contract with the UFC. So good for her. But yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen to her if she loses this fight. Like they're gonna let her go. Peace out.
Possibly, possibly. Yeah, I mean they let a lot of fighters go. They let
Oh
Curtis Millender
yeah,
go. Yeah, they let Curtis
that's
Millender
right.
go this week. So yeah, it's very possible in this day and age. Especially remember it's the end of the year. That is the thing
Yeah,
that they do. I think people forget that. Come November, come the holiday season, you're waiting for a bonus check and you're gonna get your fucking walking papers. That's just the way it goes in this business, especially in the UFC. So yeah, that very well might happen. Next up, Alexander Yakovlev and Roosevelt Roberts. Been a fan of Roberts for a while. Said that a few times on the show. And Yakovlev's a decent fighter too, coming off a win earlier this year. And I think there's a good bounce back for Roberts. I'm not 100% confident that he'll get it done, but it's a good test. I guess I'll just go with Roberts, given that he's the younger, still prospect to me, and Yakovlev has fallen in some fights he probably should have won. So I guess I'll go Roberts here.
I'll go Yakub because of experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was either or for me, but
I'm
I'm like, okay, let me just look at experience instead.
trying to
Okay,
remember who's the guy that Roberts lost to. I know he lost to a veteran. Um, he
God,
just
when was that? Was it? I forget.
Yeah.
It's recent too.
It was very recent. Yeah, it was a fight that a lot of people expected him to win, but once it happened, you're like, wait, yeah, that's probably the way it should have happened. This guy's legit veteran. But yeah, so you'll go Yakovlev, I'll go Roberts. We'll see. I think this is kind of a coin flip type fight. Co-main event coming up next. Yeah, first time we really covered Greg Hardy in the fighting sense. We spoke about the inhaler stuff a few weeks ago after his fight on the ESPN card. But yeah, now stepped up late notice to take on Alexander fucking Volkov. And I know people are still having this what do you want to call this thing of not covering Hardy because of his actions and whatnot and his past. But I just feel if you're gonna take any joy of his potential knockout loss, which he's most likely gonna suffer, you got to build him up a little bit. You can't have one without the other. Can't be happy in him losing when you wouldn't dare say his name when you're treating him like Voldemort and shit.
Oh, hashtag fuck Greg Hardy. I think that's going around again.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's
think.
been saying some wild shit lately too. I think he he made a comment about Derek Lewis saying like we should have really paid attention to that guy. He's a felon.
Oh my God,
I
really?
I believe I saw that right before we went on air. I want to say Ann Walker tweeted that the from some he quote tweeted it or something. I was just like, I didn't even read the whole quote. I read like one line. I was like,
Are
yep, I'm
you
done.
fucking joking me? Are you going to really?
He's never heard of the saying throwing stones in a glass house, huh?
Wow. I'm going with Volkov to beat this. Just beat his ass.
and
Please, you'll be doing everybody a favor.
I
It has to happen with Volkov. That's it. End the story.
well, it'd be nice if it happened with Derek Lewis. And Derek Lewis said that he wants to be the man to personally end Hardy's career. So, I mean, that'd be cool. But this is cool
Yeah.
because this is a top guy, and I mean, what? Just wasn't it just a year ago that we were talking about him as a potential title contender? Like, had he beat Lewis, I think it was fair to say that he was going to be next in line for the title.
Actually, yeah, because the last time he fought was in October. It was last year.
So Lewis was his last fight.
Yeah, Lewis was his last fight.
There you go.
And he was winning that fight.
Yep. And at least,
Even on the ground. He was
yeah.
rolling with Derek Lewis on the ground.
And Lewis got mad hard, so that's why he was able to pull off what he could pull off. And Hardy's clearly a powerful guy, so he's not to be slept on. But we all know he ain't got no kind of cardio. And Jeff Nowitzki has made it clear that he cannot use his inhaler. So take that for what it's worth. And then I also wonder if he really does have, I don't know if it's the performance base or just whatever type of asthma he has. It's they're going to Moscow, man. It's colder than fucking balls up there. That shit can't be good for him.
I all I gotta say is Volkov, when 3 rounds, was winning that fight, and Derek Lewis just had that monster shot. But he was eating a lot of Derek's fucking shots. So
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's not just because he got knocked out doesn't mean he can't take it, And
yeah,
Derek, I dare say, although he's a crazy brawler, he does have technique and definitely has way more technique than Hardy. So,
dude, it has to happen this time.
and if Volkov loses, then everyone's gonna be sad, and he's gonna say more cringy shit and gonna keep
Yes,
being himself. But hey, this is what we tune in for, especially with
yes,
heavyweights, coin flip sometimes. But pretty
yeah.
confident in this one. Going with Volkov as
Yeah.
well, and pretty confident about it.
Oh my God, it has to happen because if Hardy wins, it shoots him up to number 7.
That's fine. Then he's gonna face more monsters. That's why I wouldn't be too sad about it. I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be too sad because then Derek Lewis is up next. Well, I know DC's retiring, but
Yeah, yeah.
Derek Lewis is up next. Blagoy Ivanov's up next. Um, Overeem's up next, and The list goes on and on. The fellow that just knocked out Arlovsky this weekend, he's up there now, you know. And Ngannou, Jesus Christ, I mean, he's gonna get his. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everyone gets knocked out of heavyweight. It's basically a fact. Serious. I mean, look
Yeah.
at your favorite heavyweight fight. They've all been knocked. Mark fucking Hunt's been knocked out numerous times. That's all you gotta know. And he's got a head of fucking concrete.
Insane, man. This guy, Hardy, man, I think this would be his 5th fight of the year.
I believe so. Yeah, at
Yeah.
least the fourth, but possibly the fifth. I mean, he basically started this year.
5th year. Yeah. It'll be January, April, July, and October. And then this will be his 5th fight. So it's got to happen.
Props for him again. The rounds in, but
yeah.
yeah, this might be his last round.
So how many? Well, he's been using inhalers. So.
Well, just that once, right?
Well, how do we know? He can't use it in the back at all until when he enters, right, the arena. Once he checks in, he can't do anything except for drink water.
Although it would make sense that if they are going to cheat, it would be in Russia with, you know, the state sponsors. But you know what? Fuck it. Give Volkov all the fake piss and all the fucking microdosing and all the shit they do. Putin better be up in his ass and giving him all the good stuff.
Dude.
At least for this one, we'll allow it.
Oh, come on. He's Drago, and then you're in Moscow. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It has to happen.
Oh, that's right. That's his nickname, right? You're right.
Yes, it has to happen.
He must break him. He really must. Literally.
You got him, motherfucker. He dies, he dies.
He dies.
If he doesn't leave Moscow, all right, peace out. Who's Greg Hardy?
Make friends with Edward Snowden and see what happens.
That's the first time we covered Greg Hardy.
Well, second time, but first time in the fighting sense. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It has to happen at one point. I don't like to call myself a media person, even though I'm being media this weekend. But I know
congratulations.
And yeah.
What?
We'll go into details about that later on. I'm not gonna let this shit go, but don't worry about that. But if we're gonna be quote unquote media, if you learned anything from Hollywood, anything from the entertainment industry, you got to build people up to bring them back down. People do the show with people they like. Tim Tebow never did a goddamn bad thing in his life, and look what they did to him. You know? So why can't we do it?
Crazy. That's a crazy story because he was talented.
Yeah.
He played baseball and football.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we got to do our due diligence. We can't fully accept and appreciate the come down without the come up. He's on the come up right now. Quickly, we'll be on the come down. Firmly believe that. Anyway, main event time. Calvin Kattar versus Magomed Zabit Magomedsharipov. Too many names. 3-round fight because it was supposed to be a co-main event. Originally supposed to happen in Boston. Got moved for some goddamn reason. Well, it was an injury. I don't know if the details of that ever came out, but just got moved a month later. So now Calvin Kattar's ass got to go all the way to Moscow. And Magomedsharipov is, I'm sure he's happy at home doing his thing. And, man, there's been so many good fights this year. I think I think fight of the year is I don't know. I just have a hard time seeing anybody beat Izzy and Gastelum. And this being 3 rounds, it's gonna be tough. But man, I think it is a contender. I think it could be if everything goes right.
I was going back and forth with this because Calvin, he can knock him out. He can knock Zabit out.
And not just that, is that he can piece him up. And I think that's the more important thing. That's the thing to look at, is that he's a sound boxer and he's very smart.
Yeah, the way he took out Ricardo Lamas.
Shane
Woo!
Burgos, that's the fight that always,
Oh, that too.
and that was
Woo!
a badass motherfucking fight too, and he fucked him up.
And it's Burgos of all people.
Tough dude.
Dude.
Maybe a little too soon or whatever, but that was a good fight at the time for both of them,
Yeah.
and he came up.
Oh man, I was going back and forth. I have Zabit down on my notes, but I'm not confident.
Okay, in that case, I'll have Calvin down. I'm not confident in that one either, but
Yeah. It's
he's
so good. It's an interesting fight for sure.
he's definitely gonna have to avoid the takedowns because we've seen that the beat is pretty beastly on the floor. But um, we see that the beat also gets tired, and it doesn't seem like Calvin does. So yeah, I have some faith in Calvin. I probably have as much faith in Calvin as you do in Zabit. So
Yeah.
I think there's a good split here. So before we go on, just two little things I want to mention. Canelo knocked the fuck out of Sergey Kovalev last week. That was amazing. I oh, I guess we can talk on that real quick too. You hear about how they showed 244 at MGM Grand during that fight?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Not only did they wait, right? They didn't want to go head to head with the UFC
Uh huh.
for the main. They're over here playing that. That shit's funny. So,
Imagine
man,
how, dude, that Jesus, they
that's
may have done the biggest favor to MMA. Like, there's people who became Triumph fans probably that night. Probably didn't even know that fight was happening or had no real interest to watch it because clearly they're at a Canelo fight. But yeah, it was a one-sided beatdown. But goddamn, was it entertaining?
I mean, I heard it was like a fan request too. Like people were requesting it.
That'd be crazy. If people imagine people just started chanting like you know what I mean? Like for
Hmm.
UFC, UFC. That's crazy. We're not really the minority anymore, you know?
Yeah.
We're not really the minority as far as being fight fans. It was like even when we got it, like when I first got into it, you were an MMA fan or a boxing fan. You couldn't be both. Now it's like you can like sports, you can like all kinds of sports, or you can like all kinds of fights. You don't have to pick and choose.
Yeah, it's definitely taking over. Like wrestling fans are coming over, even though some
Yeah,
people
even
don't
them,
like
like
it.
it's not even like a big thing. Like, yeah, we still clown, some people still clown on them. Oh, you fucking losers, but it's like, dude, get over yourself. Who gives a shit if they like wrestling? You know deep down that it's not too different from MMA.
Right. And then you probably have like NFL because, well, Greg Hardy, but you also have like, Tom Brady interested in it. He's over here um sending messages on Instagram, like Wiley Zhang's Instagram. Like
Holy
good luck,
shit.
champ and shit, right?
Holy
Like,
shit.
hello, Hall of Fame, football player, what the best quarterback in the fucking planet.
Hey, Tom, stay the fuck away from her though. I'll fuck
That's his
mine.
girl.
Yes, mine.
Um, but I mean, you have entertainment too, and because The Rock showed up.
Yeah, and The Rock's always
Uh,
been a fan, but in the beginning it seemed like it was just because of wrestling, like Brock Lesnar and stuff, you know. But
yeah,
yeah, now it's evident that yeah, he's always like combat sports. Hell,
yeah,
and say what you want about Trump, and we are no fans of his here, but just the fact to say that the president was there,
yeah.
like and then here's the other interesting thing, not to get too deep into the politics stuff, but I don't know who will win. I mean, I I guess people are going with Bernie and stuff. I don't know, but two of the candidates who a lot of people seem to like, with Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, who are actually my two personal favorites, are big MMA fans. I've seen Tulsi train Muay Thai and stuff and MMA, and she tried to help Wiley Zhang out, and then Andrew Yang's trying to bring the Muhammad Ali Act. That's Leslie Smith's homeboy. So yeah,
Hmm.
that I could see coming a very mainstream thing. Imagine just 10 years ago, a presidential candidate saying, "Oh yeah, I like the UFC." They would have been like, "You fucking sick piece of shit." You probably watch, you know. bestiality porn and shit too. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my
it
God.
was still in that. It was still in that realm of like, okay, yeah, some people watch that, but they're not exactly sane people. You know?
Yeah.
Now it's cool.
Yeah. It's changed so much. And
Hmm.
yeah, boxing of all people. Of
Yeah, and
all.
they were the biggest fans,
Wow.
you know, of oh, we're not like that trashy sport. And like, well,
Yep.
that's not what your fans think. They love this shit, you know?
Yeah.
Your
So
own thing.
loyal. They're so stuck up and so loyal. Like just
Hmm.
so hardcore with it. And for them to like even play it. That's amazing, man.
Like literally, Freddie Roach is the only big trainer I would know. There's more now. Like even if you look at Teddy Atlas, who's old school like a motherfucker, even he's talking about MMA now. Teddy
Right.
Atlas like does not fuck around with the boxing stuff. Who considers it like such a big passion, such an art, and even he's like, yeah, this MMA stuff's legit.
Since you brought up Bernie Sanders, did you see Kevin Lee's post?
Well, yeah, that's why I said he sacrificed that he made a martyr out of Gillespie. Like,
Yeah.
damn, dude. Like, honestly, and I'll be honest. I'll be straight over here. I'm not the biggest Bernie fan. I'm really not. I'm one of those people that would maybe vote for him if I had to, but he's not my number one choice. But god damn it, I give props to Lee, man. I really do. I really fucking do. Especially that it seems like the thing now is to play identity politics. Oh, you got to go with the woman. You got to go with the black person. You got to go with this and that. And especially with Lee being black, I would figure that I've seen people, famous people, smart people, try and go with Kamala Harris and some candidates that really are just not good because of the color of their skin. He's saying, nope, Bernie. You know, I give him props for that. He's of his individual mind. You know, he's got a unique mindset. He's not just going with the crowd.
Yeah. He was asked about Trump, like, how do you feel about him coming to the fight
Ah,
and whatever? And he's just like, I guess it's cool, but I support Bernie Sanders or something. But
nice.
I guess he found out about Gregor Gillespie supporting Trump or something
Oh
because
shit. Well,
he
yeah,
was getting a lot of hate for that.
Gregor.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Not
That's
doing the material thing again. Come on, do you really trust that guy with his political choices? Come on,
yeah, yeah,
come on.
fucking eating Fruit Loops and fucking water and shit.
He probably eats mayo sandwiches, like straight up, just bread with fucking mayo on them. Like
Or
he's,
just eats it straight up.
God. Oh my god, I can't even fathom that. Oh, that's so gross. Anyway, moving on. And with the one other comment I wanted to give, Leslie Smith is fighting this weekend at Bellator 233 on the main card actually, which is good for her. It's her first main card spot against Arlene Blencoe, who's a pretty rugged chick. She's a strong, mean striker, and she's got some pretty good grappling too. So this should be interesting fight and a girl that can match Leslie Smith at the shit that she does well. So
Oh yeah.
big Leslie Smith fans here. Also, we gave her tweet of the week a while back, and here's hoping for the best for her. But moving from that, going straight into the headlines for this week. First headline: there is a suspect that's been named in the Walt Harris's case of his stepdaughter. Um, I think this had all happened like the past week, so we hadn't talked much about it. But I kind of just want to keep this one short because I think we can go on all day about it, and it's very fucked up and emotional. But I mean, all my sympathies, my heart goes out to Walt Harris. I really can't imagine the pain and the anger he must feel right now because it seems as of right now, unless I've misheard, Reen, there's still been no update on the stepdaughter, right?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's sort of good news that we know or we suspect someone that may be involved, but sucks that his main concern is his stepdaughter, obviously, and he still doesn't know that. So can only imagine rabid fury that must be going through him right now. So I guess all I'll say is just hoping for the best, and hope she's okay. And if this guy really is it, then I'm pretty sure he'll see justice soon. And just hope that that poor girl's okay. Nothing to add, Irene?
Man, it's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, you don't if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to. I didn't want to just hijack the segment, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I did see the picture of that suspect, and yeah, he looks like he's bad news.
Well, he was
So
a. I didn't see his record, but it seems like he's definitely been in jail a few times
he's done some kind of kidnapping. Yeah,
before.
shit before. It seems like, yep, he's been in jail for that before or something. So I don't understand why he's already let out, or yeah, I don't get it. But
Yeah, because in some places that's like you can legit get life for that. Like just
yeah,
like just regular ass kidnapping doesn't even have to be like you took them across the state. Like just moving somebody over 15 feet against their will, the textbook definition of kidnapping. You can get really fucked with that. And seems like this guy definitely did some fucked up shit. So
yeah.
hope he
So
hope he gets served, and I hope they find this poor girl. Like,
I hope they do too soon something because it's been too long.
yeah.
So I'm glad that Walt Harris pulled out of his fight.
Yes, 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 yes. And we've seen it with guys. We've seen it like I always remember Jake Shields fighting like a week or two after his dad died, and everyone was telling him not to, you know. And then he got fucked up. He got knocked out in like 30 seconds, and it was like, well, yeah. I mean, kind of hard to get over the loss of a parent, you know. So stuff with your stepdaughter, Jesus Christ, I can only imagine. Good, yeah, good for him for pointing out, and it looks like who was it? The guy that just knocked out over him, Arlovsky. Sounds like he's taken in for against Overeem, so still a fight there. More news. Two big announcements. Combate Americas is moving to Access TV, and LFA has found a home at Fight Pass. It's kind of weird. They like switch roles. Combate was originally on Fight Pass, then went to the Zone, now on Access, and LFA was always on Access. Now it's going to Fight Pass. Do you think this helps them out, Reen?
Definitely LFA, right? Because they have a relationship with the UFC, anyways.
Yeah, they're feeder league.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Combate is the one that kind of perplexes me. It's going to be 35 events, which is, I think, more than they've ever done, but about standard. Like, that's kind of what they did with LFA. They almost run the same type of schedule that the UFC does. But I don't know if this is. Combate is getting pretty big, and not a lot of people talk about that. It is
Hmm.
pretty big with the Latin market. But I wonder with Access, like, they've always had fights in that channel as long as it's existed. So I wonder how this one's going to hit with them. Because they're very exciting fights, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say that LFA was more professional, you know, but they did have Pat Miletich. Everyone knew that these guys are gonna go in the UFC soon, and Combate is kind of his own thing. There's not a lot of people that come from Combate to the UFC, you know.
Right. And they're not frequent fights either, Combate.
Well,
Yeah.
not now, not too much now. You know, they're kind of random, yeah, when they do happen. But now, if
Yeah.
it's 35 weeks a year, that's you know what, like 1.5 fights a month. You
Yeah.
know,
And they're
or
about to have this questionable fight, so
actually, I should have said like 2.5 fights, but yes, I know, and yes, Alberto Del Rio and Tito Ortiz, and
yeah.
did
So
you hear the press conference of when they announced this?
no.
Campbell McLaren is one of the weirdest fucking people I've ever heard in my life, but god damn it, he's unintentionally hilarious.
What did
He was
he
like,
say?
he was just yelling for no reason. He was just like, "There's gonna be 35 fights every year on Access. There's only 52 weeks in the year. You know how many fucking fights that is? Like, he was just yelling for like no reason whatsoever. And he's like,
Yeah.
when someone says, you fight like a Mexican, I think that's the best compliment that a fighter could ever receive. Because Mexicans fight with their heart and they're always coming forward. Like, that's what it's like to be a fucking fighter. He was just like going off about shit that, like, what the fuck, dude? What are you talking about?
Wow.
It was
Trying to sell
hilarious.
it.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Go on with your bad self. Trying to sell it. That's
But
all.
what are they trying to sell? He's already there. He's got the product is there. I don't
Probably
know.
numbers, pay-per-view numbers, right? Or is it all going to be free?
No, well,
Even this Tito fight isn't free.
no, it's a pay per view,
Sorry.
but they weren't really talking about it. They were talking about just the deal of how many fights they're gonna have and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Campbell didn't really talk about that one, but he was just talking about how awesome it is of how many fights they're gonna have.
Well, do they even have a home before? Where was their home?
They were with the
Where was
zone.
there then?
They were with the zone just a few months ago. The event I covered in April, that was in the zone, and then I think like a month or two ago, they dropped out and they were just I think on Univision or Televisa or whatever, the Spanish channel. So
Right.
they were on basically Spanish only, and now they're back there with access, so they're gonna have the English podcast.
Okay.
Gonna
Yeah,
have
because I
yeah,
remember watching fights on Facebook too, or something
yeah. I think the prelims they do the prelims there. Yeah, get to
crazy.
see Juliana Pena do her terrible stuff, but anyway, so there's that. Yeah, and I agree with you, LFA. I think it's a good match. I mean, it's a feeder league. Why not feature the fighters that are going to eventually be in the UFC, most likely anyway?
Yeah, it makes sense. You could just sell that, get more subscribers to it.
Yeah.
You know, Fight Pass. Is it still $5?
What? ESPN?
Yeah, no, Fight Pass. Is it five
No, it's
bucks?
$10. It's $9.99.
Oh, okay. Why did I think it was
But
$5?
but you know what? I know plenty of people. They're hardcore MMA fans, but I know plenty of people that legitimately love LFA. Like they love it the way I love Invicta. It's like, hey, I don't know if it's just because they really like the UFC and they know that eventually they'll be there, or they just like the talent. But as someone who's seen plenty of LFA fights, I will say that it is exciting. It's just weird. Like, yeah, they have their own kind of like niche audience. It's almost how WEC was back in the day, like there was some WEC diehards, and that's kind of what some people are like with LFA. Um, that does it for the headlines. Get to the matchup segment. And one matchup, the only matchup I really read about this week, Veronica Macedo is stepping in for Priscilla Cachoeira. She's going to fight Ariane Lipsky at UFC Sao Paulo. That's in a few weeks. Priscilla Cachoeira had an USADA issue, so she got pulled. And man, they're really not giving Lipsky any. They're really not doing her any favors. They kind of were with Cachoeira, but Macedo, whole other ball game, man. I don't think she's ready for this shit.
That sucks that I guess it was her mom. She's a nurse and gave her something because she was feeling sick.
Oh, that's if that's true, that's terrible.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Seems
Uh,
plausible. I mean, I wonder if they're taking mercy on her like they did with Nate, because they were trying to fuck over Nate for whatever reason. So I wonder
she
if they're being fair about stuff.
she was starting to feel ill with high blood pressure and blurred her vision. So her mother, who works as a nurse in Rio de Janeiro, gave her medication, and she felt better minutes later.
Damn, that's some strong ass shit.
Yep.
Jesus.
So
Wow. Sucks. Yeah, sucks for Priscilla. Hopefully she's not out too long. Have they given her a punishment yet, or they're still to be determined?
to be determined. So maybe it'll be a 6 month thing. Who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, her mom has credentials. She's
Yeah, she's
experiencing some
got.
issues.
If this is how it happened, it seems like she's got some. Yeah, hopefully it's just like, okay, you fucked up, but we're not gonna punish you too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not going to help her with, you know, performance enhancing. So,
yeah, yeah. And then crazy thing, Macedo saying that if she comes out healthy after the Lipsky fight, that she still wants to fight her original opponent, Amanda Lemos, at the Korea card at the end of the year.
Damn. Okay.
That's a savage right there.
Yeah. And then Lipsky, hasn't she been on like a losing streak?
Yep, 2-fight losing streak. She lost to JoJo, which no shame there, but then she also lost to McCann, which before I would have said there is shame there, but now we see McCann's a fucking animal,
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
kind of always going to be a bad matchup for her, so there was that.
Oh, okay. Tough fight.
Yep, good fight, tough fight. I'm happy to see her and Lipsky, and I'm happy to see Macedo and Lemos as well. So there's that. That does it for MMA. Does it for fight stuff. So let's get into our news segment of the week. Headline is Chinese mom almost dies from heart attack when son couldn't do math problems. This is from the NZ Herald. And yeah, doesn't say. Primary school age. So sounds like this kid's in elementary. He's doing his homework. The mom had to keep explaining the math question to him, and she got very irritated and basically had a heart attack because of it.
When I was reading it, I instantly laughed.
Well, yeah, it's because you're racist, Reen, and you're racist. Don't tell me you've had an incident like this before with your mother.
That's why I never asked for help from my mom. I always went with my dad.
You know she'd fuck you up.
Hell yeah, man. Fuck that.
Oh, that's bad. Well, at least dad was there.
Yeah, so that's why I started laughing. I'm like, damn, she's only 36 years old.
Yeah,
you know.
This kid must be really bad, or she's just one of those people that just freaks out about everything, you know?
No, he must be really bad, and she's just had it.
You think so?
Yeah.
You thinking the mommy side?
Well, because I kind of experienced it, so
yeah.
like
you're not from an unbiased perspective.
Yeah, like poor kid. He was probably like, "Fuck, there's a lot of pressure on me, man." Yeah. I get it, kid. I have flashbacks now. I get it.
Here's a quote. Wang, the lady's name is Wang apparently. All it says is Wang. It doesn't say last name, first name. I don't know. Wang told reporters, "I explained it to him so many times, but he still couldn't get it. I was so angry that I could explode. Suddenly, my heart was palpitating, and I couldn't breathe properly." And the doctor that helped her out, Yang Zhu, said she caught it in time. If there had been any delays, she could have suffered from heart failure. So she had a heart attack, and she could have died from it had she not gone in time. But yeah, all because her son wasn't doing so good with the homework.
Know your limits next time.
I mean, props to her for not hitting him, but Jesus Christ, I mean, she damn near killed herself. And yeah, she did kill herself because the son may have issues or whatever, but come on, you gotta know, your kids ain't gonna be all bright all the time, even if they are Asian. Can't just go with that stereotype they're gonna be good at math. Come on.
Yeah.
People are people, and people have flaws.
Those stereotypes are done and over with.
You think so?
I think so, man. I mean,
or are you just speaking for yourself?
I mean, just overall now, come on. We have computers and shit. We're not using abacus. We're not using like free hands and shit anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard people have like discussions about that, about how the internet and computers and technology is like gonna make us dumber, weirdly enough. Yeah, you might have a point there.
Yeah, so like, come on, calm down. Don't kill yourself over it, Jesus.
Well, you can't say she doesn't love her kid. She may have issues, but you can't say she doesn't love her kid.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for this weekend. I want to thank you guys for listening. We'll see what's coming up next week. Maybe we didn't do something big for the 50th show, but we'll try and do something for our year anniversary, I guess.
Have a
Uh,
guest. We'll like talk shit.
yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm sure I'll have some stories next week as I'm supposed to be covering the KSI Logan Paul rematch
Oh
this weekend
yes,
at Staples Center.
that's right. You might see Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, yeah, yay. Anyway,
Well, he tweeted out that they're trying to block him from entering. So there's some drama there, I guess. Eddie Hearn.
Dylan, I got your back. Come with me, son. I'll get you in.
Huh.
Not really.
You'll just give him a pass.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, you got, I mean, come on, you can just like share your credentials.
Yeah, I think they frown upon that kind of thing, Rain.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll have some stories because I basically wanted to go to this. I have no interest in the fight, but I wanted to go to see what the scene was about. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of angry teens yelling for no reason, seeing their first boxing fight. So,
I
could
just
be
want to
interesting.
see what kind of stories you have about the media covering it. I just,
Yeah, luckily Aunt Walker will be there, so
oh, cool. Okay.
I'll have a homie, hopefully sitting close to me. Aside from that, I don't have too much faith in whatever media might be there. The fans definitely not. I don't know. I don't know who's supposed to be here. I don't even know if celebrities are supposed to be here because I don't know how many celebrities know these guys. Maybe there should be very young, like fucking Jaden Smith or some shit, like some fucking youngsters. I don't know. That's the kind of people I expect this fight. Jaden Smith type fools. But yeah, I'll have a story up shortly regarding that weekly deal at Combat Press. And yeah, watch Bellator 233. Catch up with Leslie Smith. You can find me at always on Twitter at juice underscore MMA. Reen.
Fox with you on EIG and Twitter.
And you can always follow the podcast at iFox with Juice at iFox with Juice. So once again, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you all next week.
Right. See ya.